All right, what's up, you guys? I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet. And I keep trying to have this conversation, and I wish I had my laptop to make it better. If y'all watch the replay, that's fine. Trying to figure out how to say this by being. Um, I don't want people to feel any type of way because I had decided to do this conversation because I'm seeing a lot what's going on, right? And I'm noticing the Christian religion versus Christian capitalism. Christian capitalism is what we're facing now when it comes to this administration, and we're seeing that with what happened with Charlie Kirk. But we're seeing how it's playing and pushing the Christian religion out the way. And the reason I say that because people are, which has been going on in the Christian church, we have noticed that, where they will take what they want to believe and what the word says and use it and want to fuel it to use it against people. And the mirror in the Christian community as well is a big mirror to the things that they have allowed, right? Now, I decided to have this conversation because I was on Threads a couple of days ago and I was seeing people said that he was a man of God. And I say, well, how? Now, instead of this man saying that it gave facts, and I even put it on TikTok, I still haven't got any facts that could lead me into saying, okay, maybe I was wrong because I did not watch him. Um, one person decided to give me a Bible verse of John 3:6 13. Now that and not breaking down what that verse means, okay? Like I said, I grew up in the church. I was a church baby, church girl. My grandparents and my mother made sure my whole entire family existence, it was the church. My aunt, who was an evangelist, still an evangelist at a church for a very long time at our home church and at another church. And she decided to leave the church and go on Facebook and still give the message of God. So I have grown up with people in the church, known people in the church, and like a deep church meeting. And this has always been the projection of using verses to whatever fits their narrative. And now the Christian capitalism is pushing away the religion of Christianity. Now everybody know the religion of Christianity or spirituality is basically have a relationship with God. Christian capitalism is showing just in love with the weapons and with God. And I was listening to um, a pastor on Instagram, and he was saying, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That is I think Matthew chapter 3, verse 5, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm starting to see a lot of people convert to Christianity and have a relationship with the religion that is pushed in this country instead of having a relationship with God. And I'm seeing it verbatim. And it is very, very scary because it tells me that you rather have a relationship with the religion factor than a relationship with God Himself. And that's scary to me because that's pushing away the true statement piece. Listen, the way I see it, y'all, and I'm going to say this, in the next couple of years, there's not going to be a religion because of this, because of what they're pushing, because of how they're pushing it. There will not be a religion. If you look at all the religions, I said this before and I say it again, it all pertains to the relationship and God, what God wants in his rules, right? We know that. But you're pushing things for a capital way. First of all, I ain't never heard a Christian to have a weapon. I've never heard that. Now I heard you protect yourself, but there are ways to do it if you need that, right? But to have it and to make it like it's such a patriarchy stand piece is crazy. Another thing I saw with the black community, and I want to say this before we go any further into this information. I'm sorry, y'all, I just woke up. It's not our fight. You feel how you feel, but do not come on here baiting into what they want you to feel. I'm seeing a lot of that on TikTok. Oh, I feel no. If you feel like something ain't right, then that's all I'm gonna say. This has nothing to do with us. Nothing. Because I'm when I get my laptop next week, oh, we finna go down a rabbit hole. I'm finna put a link in this video in the subscription box of another content creator that went through the rabbit hole of what's really, really going on. Like literally what's been going on. Yeah, so the same thing I've been telling y'all, but yeah, I have no problem with the religion factor of Christianity. I've always said that. But I do have a problem when you judge and use what Bible verse. First of all, that man ain't give me no Bible verse. I say, okay, you gave me John 3:6-13, but I say, who passed a wife? I was under Domarella, Derek Hitcher. Derek, he's a pastor in Gospel Sanger. Hatton, sorry. Derek. Dietrich Hatton's wife, Mrs. Hatton, posts on Threads. And y'all know they have Christian faith. They have their own church in LA, and shout out to them. And she said everything he said was not of God. And I said, I agree. And that's what the staple I've been trying to explain because as a Christian, you're supposed to love thy brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to love them, meaning that is your neighbor. That is who you help. That's who you come to. I met a lot of great Christian people in the walks of life who are non-judge and they have conversations and they try to give you eye-opening, conversations and topics. But then you have those judgy church Christians who only abide by the religion, not the relationship. But yeah, so that is the whole thing of it, just of it to me. I've seen that a lot. I've seen since this man has got into, and people that if y'all pay attention, just look at the people that voted for him, right? So look at the people you could tell, and I'm gonna tell you how they go, oh, I'm Christ, I'm into Christ now. Okay. And I'll be saying, okay, so now you're a new Christian. Is there a relationship that you have with God? No. Oh, and this is my problem. I paid attention to some of these pastors and they bull crap when they said certain stuff was demonic and turn around that they said whatever this man does is not demonic. Giving chaos and separation wasn't demonic. Giving chaos and separation wasn't demonic. Telling people you're at war and calling the HBCUs, threatening them in their school campus because you want to go to war with people and not one apology to these people to stand on. And this is how I know that you don't even have to be a true Christian to lead. And because you want this to be that topic and have it that way to ponder to everybody and ponder onto it, you're going to do that. It's crazy. Sorry, y'all. But I got a little heartburn. But that is my take on it. Um, let's get into some points. What it is. So I went looking today, and I was on my phone scrolling. I was like, how can I give this to people to understand what's the deal is? Um, and I was looking at how people were stating, I wish I could show y'all videos. People were stating that they feel like it's even newspaper articles on this that is crazy. It says Christian religion is a broad faith centered on Jesus Christ, teaching focus on loving God and neighbor, serving others in spiritual growth. Whereas Christian capitalism is a pacific interception that views capitalism as compatible with Christian ethics, often emphasizing stewardship and generosity within a moral economy system. Though this view is not universally accepted and debated to potential conflicts between capitalist values and Christian principles. Christians revolve around, so this is the core belief, in the belief of Jesus Christ as the Son of God, his teachings, life, death, and resurrection. Key principles: love God and love your neighbor as yourself, and serve others and care for the poor and needy. Focus: spiritual well being, salvation, and a relationship with God, which provides a framework for ethical and social behavior. Okay. Definition: a viewpoint that suggests capitalism on economic system focused on the competition and profit and can be aligned with Christian values. And then we're going to go to the stewardship in a second. First of all, I have already talked about how people were trying to make a profit off you being a Christian and off your belief, and why it's important to be careful about how strong your beliefs are because they're trying to make a profit. I'm seeing it at the Kennedy Center when they're putting gospel singers. Whenever have they ever brought gospel singers to the Center in Washington? Never. So we're seeing how this is playing out and how they're playing and puppeting people to make a profit because they feel like people that are converting because of their faith and beliefs and because how they have been brought out of things that they can sit here and play coy and play on the profit. Um, Stewardship. Some argue that the Christian concept of stewarding creation and re- resources can be applied with the capitalist framework, which value is created through intervention and resourcefulness. The system itself is seen as immoral, but it participates can be guided by Christian moral ethics to act righteously. So basically, they're focusing on wealth and basically saying, hey, let's go ahead and say we Christians, let's convert these people to our beliefs and what we believe so we can fast forward a profit for it. So it's kind of little similarities where people feel like with the church and is then and is into that. Um, the reason why I feel like there will be no more religion because people are going to start to realize that they're being pondered to for a check and they're not being pondered to help them with the journey. And a lot of people are starting to figure out what that journey is for themselves. And it's crazy to me. Very crazy to me. I have said that they were going to push this narrative. And if you pay attention to the things they talk about in the Christian household, it's not about being a better person or when you go and see somebody that's hungry, give them food, they're taking food out of the homeless mouth. They are arresting them. That is not of a Christian thing. That's not of God anyway. Then they're sitting here and they are basically trying to say, hey, get married and have kids. That's the way of life. But they don't want you to get married to anyone and have kids or have biracial kids or do any of that. They want you to have kids with your own and marry your own. That is not of God. And I think people are forgetting that of God. judges your heart. He doesn't judge not just what you do, but your heart. Your heart, I keep saying it before and I say it again, your heart is the telling of your soul. Your heart is the telling of you and how you handle things differently. It's your heart, not your emotions. Well, I mean, it can play into that, but it's what your heart allows. Did you help someone today? Did you feed them? So when that person asked you for food, you told them to F off why you didn't feed them. Like that's what God look at. With such as he don't look and I've noticed a lot of people saying we don't have to be that way because they treat us that way. That's how they like for you to lose your power. Let me explain something to you. You do not have to play coy and nice with people that keep beating you up against a wall and if they keep trying you. That's like telling a domestic violence woman or somebody in abuse, it's okay, that he's okay. Just walk away, and you walk away. They come behind you, and body slam you on the ground. You can't do that. You can't do that. Don't work like that. Or then when you go to school, you got the same kids stealing your lunch money, and you get fed up. You're gonna have a normal reaction. So all of that, well, we can't treat them that way. We have to. That's a takeaway power thing. So people started having boundaries. And there are some Christian people not following with this capitalism Christianity and telling people, hey, if you truly are a Christian, you need to, or you truly are a person of God, you need to be mindful because they try to play with y'all. So that's what's going on. I'm not gonna get into we're gonna get into full details about what was going on and happening. Y'all know I am gonna report on it over here and we're going to talk about what the wife said, and I'm going to go get further into what I found as well. If you guys haven't watched this one, 'cause I'm going to end it here and get ready for the next live in a couple of hours. I just wanted to make it short and sweet with the difference. The reason I came up here to say this because I want my followers to be, um, I want y'all to be mindful, and I want y'all to just pay attention to what the agenda is and what they're trying to do. America's becoming a new Middle East. It's becoming a new Middle East sooner or later. And everybody say this is a spiritual warfare. No, this is a pondering of plan on y'all. And y'all not understanding the assignment of discernment. And y'all not understanding that your tongue is powerful. Y'all are not understanding that your tongue is what it is. And why they want y'all to sit here and focus on religion and have this conversation about racial and religious situations instead of what's going on. Hey, thank you. They don't want y'all to pay attention to the fact is that we have other countries looking at us and upset. They're not talking about it. You have, and I'm going to say it again, you can't be of a religion of that base or anything with God when you have certain groups that are on that side. And I'm going to put the caption, I'm going to put in the caption, not the caption, but the description box of Miss Tabitha. She broke it down today. And they all have an agenda with children that is not of God. I want to know what story in the Bible where a woman was a wife. Not a woman, I'm sorry, a little girl was a wife at 14, 15. Things have been added into that Bible conditionally to do things, right? That's why you have to know the word for yourself. And we have been talking about it for decades. Things coming in and out, you have to be careful what Bible you get. It's better to get the Bible that has the like the study Bible than the other one because it's a lot coming out with them other Bibles. And you're not supposed to alter a Bible, and they've been altering it. And I've said this before. I said, pay attention. They're going to use Christian capitalism and push the Christian religion out the way. Their next goal, they took away the history books. They're going to take away the Bibles, and it's going to be a Bible about him. The United States supposed to be leader, him. They're going to replace Jesus, and I'm telling y'all, I see it now. Jesus is going to be replaced with that man name if y'all keep on playing and keep sitting here and saying that hatred is of God. Y'all are giving these people the leeway to go into Christian capitalism. Stop. So I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna come back around like 8:30. I'm gonna make my probably 8:30, 9 o'clock my time. So Lit Live Saturday will be about male centered women. Y'all know which two. We're gonna talk about them tonight. No, I don't have video and stuff, but we're gonna break down everything more. I'm gonna just come in a little bit and leave this here because I'm gonna do another part to what happened with Mr. Kirk and his situation. I'm gonna thread lightly because I guess they want to be like us and we call on racism, and now they want to call and say we're being hateful. But y'all forgot y'all racism shows, and the brown skin and black folk, the minorities are petty, and they will call on you too. So we're gonna end it here. I'm gonna come back in a couple like 3 hours. I'm gonna cook, and then we're gonna go into Brianna, and we're gonna talk about and how she's very male centered, and her eviction was a proven point. And we're gonna talk about live life, live love, live life, whatever, love, live, and how she's very male centered when it comes to her parenting and some of her addictions. So I'll see you guys at 9. I will finish talking about this subject. I would like for y'all to come over and we have these subjects because I want y'all to pay attention of everything that is going on. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye. Every time I go live.